Hey guys, this is Dustin. We're back with the Enduro build on the 2025 Gas EX300. And today we're going to go over some foot peg options. So like we said in the previous video, if you haven't watched that, go check that out. But yeah, we came out with a new foot peg platform. It's called the Enduro. It's a fixed, non-rotating platform. So part of this build is to kind of highlight that platform. So we're basically going to do a full install on it, and we're going to use, right now we have the trail platforms on here which rotate a little bit and use a bushing. So we're basically going to show you how to take that, remove it, and put the new Enduro platform on and show you that whole process from start to finish. So we're going to go over here to the table. We've got our Enduro, we've got our Enduro platforms all set up here. We're going to show you what they look like. So what I've got here is our Enduro model. They're pretty beat up. They were on another shop bike. I've been beating these up since last year. The concept behind the Enduro model is they're a little beefed up construction because they're designed to take a lot of abuse. So the sidewalls are extra thick. They're also designed to shed mud and snow really well, or any type of dirt. So we've got open face design in the middle, and then a beefed up sidewall around it. And one of the cool options with this model is we have adjustable camber on it, and we'll walk you through it on the install and show you how that works. So these mounts are the core or the base of our system. They're the element of the system that's really unique and unlike anything else on the market. So this mount has a patented design with 2 threaded holes. And what that allows us to do is kind of give any configuration to our foot pegs, whether it's rotating or non-rotating. It also allows us to adjust camber in a really unique way that is really benefits the rider. So this is our mount. It's made out of stainless steel. Currently we have 2 model platforms with it, the Trail and Adventure, and both those platforms use a spindle axle and then a bushing bolt with a bushing design. The platforms rotate on the spindle axle and they push into this bushing. It's a really cool system, but it's not for everyone. So with the Enduro model, it is a traditional fixed platform that doesn't rotate, and it is going to be for everyone who wants more of that traditional feel when riding a bike. So with our mounting system, it allows us to have any style of foot peg on the market currently. So the cool thing about this wedge, it allows you to adjust the camber of the bike without twisting the foot peg like other systems on the market. So that wedge has a skinny part on one side and a fat part on the bottom. So when you put the platform onto it, it simply adjusts the camber and allows you to customize. We'll get started and we're going to walk you through the whole process on how to mount that to the bike while removing the trail platform and the hardware for that, and installing all the hardware and the platform for the new Enduro model. All you need is a 14 mil wrench, 6 mil Allen, and an 8 mil socket. So if you buy a set of the Enduro platforms and you already have the trails on your bike, it's really easy to do it while the foot peg's still installed to your bike, and I'll just walk you through that process. So you start by removing the dust cap on the trail platform. And once you have the dust cap removed, there's a 8 mil nylon Loctite nut in there that holds this platform on. So you take a T-handle, a couple spins, that slides off. Make sure you get the bearing. So first off, if you got impact, that's always a good go-to. You can spin that bushing bolt right off. Next you have the spindle axle, and we use a high strength thread locker on this. So typically you need to get a little bit of heat on it. It's usually a heat gun or a torch for about 15-20 seconds. And then that thread locker will release and you can remove the spindle. Should be enough to release it. So now that leaves you with just our stainless steel mount. It's still attached to the bike. It's going to be pretty hot. Usually take a rag, wipe that up, get in there, clean up the threads. If you got a little compressed air, you can blow that in there to get some of that thread locker out. Or you can just blow in it. That should get all the old thread locker out and it should be ready for install. So we've got our Enduro platform and it's got the 2 pieces of hardware already installed in the back of it. These are just loose, easy to spin. And we're gonna install it onto the mount. So make sure it's cooled down, give it a few minutes. You don't wanna burn yourself. We've got the drop model mount for this 2025. So that's a 10 mil down and a 5 mil back. Really opens up the cockpit. Okay, so we have the Enduro model platform here. It's got the hardware array installed in the back. And all we have to do is screw it into these 2 holes. And we're going to use the wedge with this installed, but the wedge adds about 4 degrees of negative camber. So it tilts it up a little bit. Some riders like to have their knees a little bit more locked into the bike. So if you're kind of aggressive rider or you just like the feel of it, it kind of pushes your knees into the bike a little bit more. It's not for everyone, but again, it gives you that option. So you can use that wedge with the existing hardware and it's super easy to install. So with that, you're gonna take the wedge. You're gonna wanna make sure that you've got the skinny end up top and the fat end at the bottom. You're gonna put it on the back of the Enduro platform. And with all our hardware, we recommend using a thread locker. The vibrations from the engine create a lot of issues with having threads back out. So you also want to make sure that you use a thread locker for it. For this one, we're planning on uninstalling it potentially sometime down the line. So we're going to use a medium strength thread locker. And this is just a 243 Loctite. Because this is a blind hole, we always like to put a little bit of thread locker in the hole first. And then we put a little bit of thread locker at the base of the threads. And this helps ensure that it gets a good coating. With a blind hole, it kind of creates a negative back pressure, so it tends to force the thread locker out of it. You also want to make sure you get a little bit of thread locker in that hole because of that. So pretty easy process. We'll start by getting it lined up. We'll get that bottom in first. So get a couple threads started on the bottom, and then you want to move to the top. And for the top bolt, you just use a regular Allen key to install. And you want to get these tightened evenly so one's not all the way threaded in before you thread the other one in. So we do have a torque spec for both of these. We understand that not everyone is going to have a torque wrench, but it's 40 foot-pounds for the top and 30 foot-pounds for the bottom bolt. Next up, we're going to install our cleats. Obviously, you can do this before it's installed on the bike, but we're going to do it right now. So it's pretty easy. We use a high-strength Loctite, and you can use a red Loctite or a retaining compound, works really well also. And you just want to make sure that you get the thread locker inside these holes and not just on the threads of the set screw. Also, when installing these cleats, you want to put a little thread locker on these threads to make sure they don't vibrate loose. To go from the trail or the adventure to the Enduro, it only takes a couple minutes. You don't need a bunch of special tools, and you can do it in your shop. So that wraps up our Enduro platform install on our 2025 Enduro build. We've got it on the website right now for pre-order, but it'll be shipping first week of May. So check it out and stay classy out there. Right here, I got these Enduro footpegs.